Hey guys, welcome to the James Bond Show. No fears, no limits, no substitutes. I'm Krazy Kajeevie, and I've got the one, the only Mr. Ruggles here. And I got Scooby-Doo, my doggy, and I got Smoochy Woochy sitting down there. So guys, what are we doing today? I'm going to see if these two will be little buddies here and sit next to each other. You going to stay there, Mr. Ruggles? He's in a bit of a playful mood, so I'm trying to get him to sit on the chair. So, guys, what am I talking about today? Well, I'm going to talk about a few things. I want to talk about how I got into James Bond and who I am as a Bond collector, who I am as a Bond fanatic, and who I am as a person. My beliefs, my faith, different things like that. So you know who you're subscribing to, who you're liking, and, you know, why I love this world of James Bond as well. I'm also going to speak about the recent article that was done on me by, I think it was Cater's news agency, and the reporter was James. And we'll start off there. So first of all, an article was just done on me showing my world of collecting, and I want to thank James and I want to thank the Cater's news agency as well. I'm going to leave a link to the article in the description section below, so you can all check it out if you haven't seen it already. The article, look, editors always try to get headlines, and reporters try and, you know, put a bit of mustard on stories to make things great. And some people in comment section, whether I've put this on Facebook or, you know, wherever else, people have like, you got rid of even one of my ex-girlfriends who read it said, you got rid of an ex-girlfriend because she didn't like your James Bond poster. That's not quite correct at all. So the truth with that is, and again, a little bit of mustard has been put on that. So I'm going to tell you what happened here. I was dating a girl, and to be honest, she was just really hard to get to know. And it was over, you know, probably 3 months. She was just hard to get to know in ways, and quite reserved and whatnot. And anyway, she knew my James Bond collecting was a big passion of mine. And one day I'm showing her this stuff, and I came to this You Only Live poster, which was, you know, tucked away. And I'm like, oh, can I just show you this last one? Now, she had sat there and looked at a few things, and she's like, oh, no. I said, can't I show it to you? You don't want to see it? She goes, no, I'm okay. And I didn't break up with her because of that. I didn't break up with her, and I actually asked the reporter to change his wording, because originally it was like, he dumps her because she didn't like his poster. And I said, no, can you please change that wording? I ended up breaking up with her because she didn't have any hobbies and any interests. And I saw at that time that she, you know, wasn't going to show any involvement in me having a hobby. And no girl I date has to be into James Bond. My last girlfriend, we broke up about 6 weeks ago, so it's been pretty raw, and it's been, I'll be honest, it's been a pretty tough time. And she loved the James Bond collection. It was great, but, you know, I want to go into a different walk of life. I actually have a passion for Christian ministry and sharing the gospel. I'm a devout Christian, and so, you know, I wanted to look at sharing that and going into ministry, and she didn't want to be a minister's wife, so that ended. But, you know, life goes on, and it is what it is. So, yeah, no, I never broke up with her because she didn't like my poster. That girl, we broke up because she just didn't have interest in hobbies, and then she didn't have her own, and then she just, yeah. So that's that, guys. I thought I'd, you know, just cover that because, no, I've got a much bigger heart than breaking up with a girl because she didn't like my poster. One of the really funny stories that I told the reporter too, but they didn't run with this, was how when I was about 13, 14, and I really wanted this Dr. No novel that my older brother Rob had. And I'm like, will you give me this novel? No. Will you give me this novel? No. Will you give me this novel? No. So anyway, comes Valentine's Day. He's got a crush on this chick. He's like 4 years older than me, so he's like 18. He's a big gutless coward. Got a crush on this chick. Him and Mum are in the car. He's in the passenger side. Mum's driving the car. And they said to me, Rob said to me, you go down there, down that long driveway, you knock on the door, and you deliver this rose to this chick. I can't remember her name. Give her that. Come back here, I'll give you the book. I promise you I'll give you the book. I'm like, where's the book? I'll give it to you. It's at home. I'll give it to you. I get out of the car, I get the rose, thinking this is an easy gig. I'm going to get this Dr. No novel. And then I hear, woof, woof, woof. I'm like, what the heck? And no, it wasn't Scooby-Doo. It was long before his time. And I'm like, what the heck? And I said, they got a dog. And I was really scared of dogs because when I was 6.5 years old, I witnessed my brother my younger compared to Rob, my twin. I'm actually an identical twin, and I witnessed him being nearly killed, mauled to death, almost mauled to death by an Alsatian dog. And stupidly, my twin brother, I mean, he was only 6.5. He sat on the back of the dog. The dog didn't like that, so the dog tried to eat him, and he ended up in hospital for a month or two, and his whole face was ripped open, and he's still got the scars from it to this day. He had like 90 stitches, had plastic surgery, whatever. It was crazy stuff. So, you know, even at the age of 14, so I was afraid of dogs, especially big dogs. So anyway, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this novel. So I go down the driveway. I creep down this driveway, and I didn't want the dog to hear me. The door opens, and these girls come to it. And I'm like, whoa, hubba bubba. Now I see why he's giving this girl a Valentine's rose. Remember, I was 14, and these chicks open the door in bikinis, and they go, can you go around the side gate? I'm like, there's a dog there. Oh, no, we won't let the dog get you. Okay. So I go around the side gate. The gate opens. One girl's holding the dog back. And oh my goodness, it was like being in Octopussy with the bevy of beauties of the Bond girls. All these gorgeous, stunning girls are there. And I'm like, whoa, I'm in heaven. Anyway, oh, look, don't let that dog out. Here's a rose from my brother, blah, blah, blah. Cool, thanks. Took the rose, gave me a kiss. Leans down, gives me a kiss. She's wearing a bra. I've never even seen these things in real life as a 14-year-old. I'm like, hubba, bubba, bubba, bubba. Anyway, I'm love struck. I'm walking back up the driveway. I'm like, great, I got a kiss, saw Hot Babes, and now I'm going to get a Dr. No novel. Suddenly I hear, no, you let the dog go. And I'm just like, what? And I've looked behind me. This dog, it was a Doberman Pinscher, was flying up the driveway, and it was like Drax's dogs in Moonraker, and they were just sick. And I've run, I'm like, no, and I'm like thinking, you bitches, you said you wouldn't release the hounds. So I'm bolting up the driveway, the dog's jumped in the air, I've looked around, I've jumped in the air, this thing has grabbed my ass, its teeth have got right into my backside and chewed right into my ass. I've hit the ground, he's hit the ground, he's attached to my backside. I'm like, help me, and I'm screaming out, these dogs on my ass, and I'm like, try to whack the dog off, got the dog off, bolted, then my brother has to get out of the car and like yell at the dog. I've got in the dog, in the dog, I've got in the car, I've got like tears, I'm crying, screaming, you said I wouldn't get attacked by the dog, blah, blah, blah. And then the girls come up the driveway in the bikini. Then my brother's there, the big coward. He doesn't want them to see him in the car being a coward. So he ducks down. He's hiding like this. And the babes are coming up closer to the window. I'm like, yeah, the big coward's here. The coward's here. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry about your butt. And I'm thinking, well, if you want to kiss my butt better, you are welcome to. But I had a welt on my ass. This is what I did for this Dr. No novel. And I had a welt on my ass for like a week or two. It was bad, like it was bleeding and everything. So there's a fun little story, and I told the reporter that. But no, it was more dramatic to go with he broke up with his girlfriend thing over not liking a poster, which, as I said, is not quite true at all. She just wasn't interested in a hobby of mine and wasn't interested in sharing that. So that's what happened there. So how did I get into James Bond? And the newspaper article covered that as well. And it's true, exactly like they put in the article. I would go day after day back to my mum's work where she worked at this department store, and there was the official 25th anniversary James Bond book, the movie book. And wow, I picked that up and I'm reading it. And then I got to Honor Her Majesty's Secret Service. Oh my goodness, and his wife dies. And I'm reading, kept going back and back. And then Mum says to me one day, you know, go home after school, don't come into my work again. And I had been begging her to buy me this book, and I'd been declined on that. And then she comes home, she hands me this bag, and she says, now stop coming into my work. And I'll never forget her words. And I'm like, whoa, open it up, and there's the book. And so I was like, probably about 14 then. And so me and my twin, we would get the bus from the town we grew up in. We'd walk from home all the way up to the town. We'd get a bus, and then we'd go to the next town, because this video shop up there, you know, the old days of VHS, they would have all the Bond films. They had more Bond films than the video store had in my hometown. So we used to make these treks up and down, and then we'd watch them, and then we'd go back the next weekend and hire more Bond films. And this just went on for like, within a year, I mean, I was a fanatic. My knowledge was just crazy off the Richter scale. my knowledge on Bond. I was obsessed, and I did a talk in I think I was year 7, year 8. I did a talk in front of the whole class on James Bond and everything. So that's where my love of Bond grew. And of course, then I got into the novels and really reading them. I loved On Her Majesty's Secret Service novel. Dr. No was great, very much like the book. Thank goodness they didn't go with a monkey as a villain in the movie. From Rushwood Love, and I loved You Only Live Twice. I loved that novel as well. Got into the Man with the Golden Gun novel as well, and yeah, I'm actually re-going back through the novels, and I'm actually reading Casino Royale at the moment. I'm going through all the novels in order, so I will be doing a book review soon. So yeah, that's a bit about me, guys. I am 44. I've been into James Bond pretty much since I was like 12, 13-ish. And my first experience of watching a Bond film, I was about 8 or 9. Octopussy came on TV, so it's a bit after 1983. My dad says, "Oh, Steve, if you're good tonight, if you're good today, I'll let you watch Octopussy with me." And I'm like, great. This is like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, right? Like, because I loved Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I think there was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes. I'm like, oh, great, this will be good. And he's like, yeah, it's on there. Octopussy's on. I'm like, what's this? And I see this horse's ass open up, this airplane come out, action, and where's the octopuses? Where's the killer octopuses? And of course, years later, I realised that's James Bond, and then I became fanatic of James Bond. Yeah, so guys, that's a bit about me and about the article. And like I said, I'll leave it in the link below. Please subscribe. Please hit like. It means a lot to me if you do share this channel with your friends. And also, guys, I run Real James Bond Fans with Love on Facebook. And what I want to finish off with is, I've been accused, unfortunately in life, there's very mean, cruel people, and there's trolls, and they're just a fact of life. And anyone that knows me knows that I love people. I don't care, you're black, you're gay, you're dwarf, you're white, you're yellow, whatever. I love people. And my number one hate is bigotry. I hate racism, and I hate bigots. But you've got to define what racism is, honestly, and what a bigot is. But all my family and friends know I hate racism with a passion. My best friend, my two best friends, Teabags and Hootie. Tristan, we call him Teabags, and Andrew, who we call Hootie. And Hootie's black, and he is black, okay? My ex-girlfriend is Indian, and I find black women, Asian women, gorgeous, stunning. I don't care what nationality anyone is. I love all races. I love people, okay? I don't want a black James Bond because I love what Ian Fleming created. And if we go to a black James Bond and people say, well, Idris Elba, for example, who's a popular choice, with a lot of the social justice warriors, and they want Idris Elba, and okay, that's up to them. And they're like, but he's British. If we use that mentality that someone's born in England and they're British, and we don't look at their background, then a Mexican or a Japanese guy, a Japanese actor, say he was born in England, he's 35, well, why can't he be James Bond? And then we completely change what James Bond is forever. There's one thing making a Bond blonde like Daniel Craig, that's irrelevant, right? But he has to be played by a white actor. And for the first time, I watched Black Panther just 2 nights ago, and I loved it. And can you imagine, honestly, I made jokes about it, but being serious here, can you imagine they cast Macaulay Culkin as Black Panther? It would just be crazy, guys. It would be nuts. It wouldn't serve that character. Same way casting a black man or an Asian or anything wouldn't serve what James Bond is. And Ian Fleming owned James Bond. The Fleming Foundation owned Bond. And the fans that grew up on those books love James Bond. So for people to call us racist, bigots and all that is complete crap. It is absolute garbage. It's virtue signaling, and it is wrong. It's cruel and it's mean, and words are powerful. Love people. Be kind to people. Don't call them a racist or a bigot just because they don't agree with you. The fact is, Elba doesn't look like Bond. He's never going to be James Bond, and Bond should be played by a white actor. And then people say, well, why not give Idris Elba? He can play 00 or another franchise. Well, why does he deserve to be, that's wrong treatment. Why should he be handed a film franchise or whatever? There's other great black actors, Denzel Washington, John Boyega, there's plenty. The guy that played Black Panther. There's heaps of wonderful black acting talent out there. Let them audition for the role that you're just gifting to Idris Elba. That's fairness, guys. guys, I've been Krazy Kajeevie. Thank you so much for listening to this. And yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you like the refreshing honesty. That's what I am. I'm an honest, decent guy. If you comment, I'm going to reply to your comment. I read all the comments. I don't care how big I get, how big this page blows up to. I'm always going to, really give time to my subscribers and members. Please join us on Real James Bond Fans With Love. And make sure you answer the questions too to get onto the page. And join us at James Bond Collectors page as well. And I've just started the James Bond Show Facebook page as well. So you can come and like that and get involved, and all these videos will be uploaded there as well. Thanks so much, guys. Been great talking to you. Till next time, keep on bonding.